Let me start by saying how grateful we are to the government and people of the Netherlands for hosting this, the third Nuclear Security Summit. It was 4 years ago we met in Washington for the first time. At the initiative of President Obama, we met 2 years ago in Seoul, and I think we have made very significant progress in the years since then. We met for the first time committed to take further steps to improve nuclear safety, nuclear security, to create additional barriers to the proliferation of nuclear weapons, and to prevent the illicit use, the spread of radioactive material for terrorists, for proliferation, or for whatever other purpose. And significant progress has indeed been made. We have encouraged steps taken by individual nations, Sweden's been among them. We have significantly strengthened the IAEA in its different activities. We have encouraged new legal and practical forms of cooperation in different aspects. So we have the reason to be proud of what has been achieved, but should also be aware of the remaining tasks that are there. Sweden has a long history of commitment to these issues. We've had nuclear programs of different sorts, of all different sorts, to be honest, ever since the late 1940s. And part of that has been a profound commitment to nuclear safety and security. And since in particular the early 1990s, we've been engaged in quite a number of different programs to strengthen nuclear security in Russia, in Ukraine, in Georgia, in Moldova, in Armenia, and in Kazakhstan. We've done that based on our technological expertise and the experience that we've done in our own country, but we've also obviously done it to help these countries and to state even more obviously in our own interest. Any accident, anything that might happen there would affect also us. We've learned that from rather bitter experience. Part of this work is of course done in cooperation with other states in the framework of the G8 Global Partnership against the spread of weapons and materials of mass destruction. And today we support from the government side quite a number of different projects and work carried out by the Swedish Radiation Safety Authority in Russia, Ukraine, Georgia, and Moldova. Nuclear security, nuclear safety, and non-proliferation. Let me just give you a couple of rather concrete examples. Together with Norway, we have implemented a security system on a vessel that is going to be used to transport spent nuclear fuel from the propulsion systems of old, decommissioned Soviet nuclear submarines to take that to safe storage areas. There's been a vast undertaking together with the Russian authorities in order to get rid of one of the major sources of possible contamination in our part of the world. Last year, we also concluded another project in our part of the world, together with Norway, with Finland and Russia, to take away the highly radioactive fuel or isotopes that were used to power lighthouses on the Russian shores in the Bay of Finland. And we have replaced them with solar panels, much more efficient and of course far less dangerous. That work has now been completed. And over the past decade, we've also worked with Russian authorities to set up regional systems for the detection of illicit trafficking and transportation of nuclear and radioactive materials. We've done that in Murmansk, in Kaliningrad, and Sverdlovsk, and we are now working on such a system to be commissioned, a fourth one, in the Chelyabinsk region. In November of last year, we, together with Norway, with the UK and with Moldova, we organized a regional conference in Moldova to look at what we can do to counter illicit trafficking and smuggling of nuclear and radioactive material in the Black Sea region. We know that such attempt has been made, attempts have been detected, and measures have been taken. But of course it is exceedingly important to further develop the cooperation on the detection, on the interception, and on stopping all activities that could be there. We also developed a rather intense cooperation with Georgia over the past 7 years to improve physical protection at 2 of their nuclear facilities and establish infrastructure for the training of persons in nuclear security and in the non-proliferation field. I could go on with all of these different projects, each of them not necessarily enormous, but taken together a significant contribution to improve nuclear safety and security in our part of the world, based on the extensive experience and the extensive technical expertise that Sweden has built up over the past few decades. And we have been, as strong supporters of the IAEA over the decades, strong supporters of the system of non-proliferation. We have been eager and indeed willing to put our resources at the disposal of the international community. It has to be said, of course, that we have also decommissioned all of the highly rich uranium, but also an element of, as a matter of fact, weapons-grade plutonium that we had that was sent away and is no longer there. Its history since a couple of years back, showing the way forward for all of the nations that have an interest in using also nuclear energy for peaceful purposes. Lots needs to be done, and that is why it is important that we are meeting at the highest level in the Nuclear Security Summit to take step by step to make our world safer. So in that spirit, we are happy to be here in The Hague. We look forward to concrete progress, and we look forward to together making the world a safer place.